Let me show you some camera tips and tricks for Samsung Galaxy Tab A11. So the first thing that I want to show you is in the photo mode. If you want to quickly start recording a video, you can simply press and hold the shutter button, and then you can actually move towards the lock over here in order to keep recording. Otherwise, if you let go the shutter button, so let me try to start recording again. There we go. If we let go, then we will just stop recording. So if you prefer to keep recording, then of course you will have to move your finger towards the lock to keep doing that. We have a couple of ways that allow you to zoom in and zoom out. You can of course simply tap on zoom values over here in order to quickly switch between different zooms. You can also use the pinching gesture, or you can press and hold your finger on the zoom in order to open this slider that allows you to adjust the zoom quite easily. But there is one more way to adjust the zoom. If we tap on these dots, then we can open camera settings, and over here we need to find the shooting methods option, because over here we have press volume buttons too, and we can switch to zoom in and zoom out. So now if we press the volume down or volume up button, you can actually adjust the zoom quite easily as well. Now going back to the same settings, so if we go back to camera settings, and over here if we choose shooting methods, you can also find the floating shutter button. This allows you to create another shutter button that might be more convenient to use. You can drag it around and place it pretty much anywhere, and if you tap on it, of course you can just take the photo quite easily. And of course if you want to hide it, you can easily do that. Just place it in the standard position, and if you want to get it back, just drag it out just like that. If you switch to the front camera, there we go, and reopen camera settings, so let's go to camera settings over here. Then over here on the left side where we have camera settings again, if you go back to shooting methods, then you can actually enable or disable show palm gesture, so you can show your hand to the front camera in order to take a photo. Let's see if it's gonna work. There we go, and we have a countdown, as you can see over here. So definitely quite useful gesture that can be quite cool to use when taking selfie photos. In the camera settings, we can also find the document and QR code scanner. So if you want to scan documents, you can simply use the photo mode to just point at the document in order to scan the document and save it, for example, in photos. And also we have the QR code scanner, as I mentioned, so you can just point your camera at the QR code in order to generate the link from the QR code, and then you can open it in the browser. If you want to adjust the brightness of a photo, you can tap anywhere on the screen as a reference, and then we can move left and right over here in order to adjust the brightness quite easily. If you tap anywhere, then you will reset and automatically adjust the brightness again. So once you tap and move left or right, you can just leave it as it is, unless you actually want to readjust the brightness again. If you want to make sure that you position your camera in a perfect place, then of course we can use composition guides. So if we go back to camera, then over here we can scroll down until you find the composition guide. We can actually tap on this option as well in order to find grid lines and leveler, or only one of these two. So then we have these helpful lines that can be used to take a photo. Of course, these lines and other stuff is not really visible when you finally take a photo. You can also apply filters to your photos. So if you tap on these dots again, then you should be able to choose this icon over here, these circles. And over here we can choose one of these filters. We can also adjust the filter strength as well, in case you want to make it stronger or lighter. So definitely worth checking out as well if you want to pre-apply a filter. Unfortunately, there is no mute shutter button option or something for the camera on this device. So if you want to mute the camera sound, usually you have to turn off system sounds, but there is a way to to keep system sounds enabled, but not in camera. So if you open settings, you can go to modes and routines, and let's switch to routines. Now over here I have already created my automatic routine, but we're gonna tap on this plus button, and at the top we need to select this option, of course, and we want to choose the app opened. In this case you want to select the camera and press done. Next we're gonna choose what should happen when we open the camera, and what you need to do is you need to go to sounds and vibration, and then choose the sound mode and volume, and you want to turn off system volume over here. And now, of course, you can just completely mute the tablets as well. This works too, but if you still choose the sound, then just make sure to turn off the system volume over here, and we can press done afterwards. And then you can create your routine. As I mentioned, I have already created mine over here. This is how it looks like. And whenever you open the camera, then the system sound volume will be turned off, and when you exit the camera, then you will restore previous settings. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, leave a like and subscribe.